questions. Now we're going to move to closing statements. At this time, I yield to Ranking Member Raskins.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. Before I close, may I seek unanimous consent to submit several letters from immigrant stakeholder groups and 2 articles?
Without objection, so ordered.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been a long day, but a very productive day, and I want to start by thanking Chief Modlin and Chief Chavez for your really exceptional testimony today. I wanted to close with just a few points, Mr. Chairman. One is a point about the language that we use and the logic of our arguments, because over the course of the day, I've followed as people have made arguments about noticing an increase in the number of arrests and apprehensions. And sometimes it's said, well, there have been a lot more arrests and apprehensions under the Biden administration, therefore the situation's getting worse. Of course, our side says there's more arrests and apprehensions under the Biden administration, so things are getting better because the officers have been given more funding and support and they're able to do enforcement better. But in any event, whatever we think about it, we should be consistent with it. If we think that the number of apprehensions and arrests going down means that that's good news because the problem is less, it should be good news under both Trump and Biden. If we think it's good news that the number of arrests and apprehensions is going up, it should be good news under both. This should not be a rhetorical exercise, but all of that to me underscores the importance of our actually working together to try to solve these problems. And I think what we've learned from our witnesses today is that we need to be listening to the people on the ground. We need to be avoiding the ideological polemics as much as possible and responding to what people on the ground actually say is needed in order to improve the situation. With respect to that, in the omnibus last year, there was $72 billion for Border Patrol operations. And I just want to say that Washington is known as a place where there is a lot of rhetoric, there's a lot of oratory, there's a lot of fancy language, but then there's also votes. And votes really is the lowest common denominator where the rubber hits the road. And I was proud to have supported the $7.2 billion for Border Patrol operations, for hiring and for southern border reinforcements, $65 million for 300 new Border Patrol agents, $60 million for new CBP personnel at ports of entry, where 90% of the fentanyl is coming in, and so on. So I think that speaks volumes about our seriousness about being willing to work together and to put the needs of the country and the possibility of consensus about immigration above pure politics. And the final point I wanted to make, Mr. Chairman, is about a point that several members, including yourself, made taking umbrage at the invocation of the great replacement theory, the central dogma of extreme white nationalism in America today. And I'm not sure if the members took umbrage at the suggestion that the great replacement theory is the central dogma of extreme white nationalism, or they took umbrage at the fact that they were being associated with it. And I would love to get to the bottom of that. But just to be clear, I can cite to you chapter and verse from numerous mass murderers who attacked racial minorities and cited the great replacement theory as their justification for doing it, starting with Peyton Gendron, who assassinated 10 people at the Top supermarket in Buffalo and repeatedly cited the great replacement theory as his motive for engaging in the shooting. We can also look to Robert Bowers, who was the mass murderer who killed 11 Jewish worshipers at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Cleveland, who also posted online before his crime that he was objecting to a Jewish nonprofit, which he said likes to bring invaders in that kill our people, and then echoed numerous claims of the Great Replacement Theory. The Walmart mass murderer who assassinated 23 people in El Paso said, "I am simply defending my country from cultural and ethnic replacement," and so on. So I think it's beyond question that this has become an article of white extremism and violent white national extremism in the country. Now, you can hear about this in more mainstream contexts like Fox News, and you do hear very distinct echoes of the Great Replacement Theory being uttered by politicians. But if what our side heard today was that people don't want to be associated with the Great Replacement Theory, then we say hallelujah to that. And all we need is a word renouncing or denouncing the Great Replacement Theory, and you will never hear from us again any implication that people on that side support it. But all we have to go on otherwise are prior statements that people have made. But I would love nothing more than to have every member of this committee together. You and I could issue a statement together on behalf of the entire committee denouncing the Great Replacement Theory, which has proven to be such a danger to our people and such a poisonous intoxicant for people who are going out and acting on it in lethal ways. With that, I just want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for putting together a good hearing here, and again, thank the witnesses for their participation. I yield back to you.